everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is...
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time. And right away, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Adrian Claymore in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Just 7 carries, 27 yards for Lewis against Atlanta. But, you know, the good news for him, when he's been active the last 2 years, how about this stat? The Patriots are 17-0. So that's hard to argue against.
So he's got that going for him.
Which is nice.
Which is really nice, especially in contract negotiations.
True.
And he often has a big hand in their game plan. Run it, throw it to him out of the backfield. As a kick returner, remember against Houston in the playoffs, he ran one back 98 yards for a touchdown. But in the Super Bowl, James White became the guy and took a lot of the touches away from him in that game. And the Patriots rode James White all the way to a Super Bowl championship.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's brought down. They'll get 17 yards there. What an amazing season it was for Julio Jones. The Super Bowl, maybe the best catch we've seen all year, that toe tap on the sideline. He finished with 87 yards, but something you told me is astounding. 4 catches in that game, only 4 targets, too.
Yeah, and if you watch the game unfold, which I know you did, how many times did you see on the replays the number of white shirts of the New England Patriots in the vicinity of Julio Jones? He'd run a route, 2 to 3 guys in his area every time. That's the reason the targets were so low. But he maximized them, didn't he? 4 targets, 4 catches. And that sideline catch, I thought it was going to be intercepted. And he ended up having the concentration to hold on to it and still get both feet down. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 11 carries, 75 yards for Freeman in the game against New England. But remember, a lot of those came on the first carry. He had a good second carry, but then they didn't use him a lot late.
Yeah, I saw them getting to the perimeter early. You see how they stretched out New England's big defensive line? And then as they substitute, they started to try and go back inside. But a lot of people think maybe they didn't run the ball enough in the Super Bowl and maybe even eat some clock, especially with the lead that they had. But they also were able to use Devontae Freeman in the passing game. Remember late on 28-20, faked it to him inside, then threw it to the flat. They got a big play that way as well.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific. perfect start.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions. And, boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a fifth-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Brady. And this is going to be incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. And now the possession will switch over to the Atlanta Falcons. And this offense so good for 3/4 of the Super Bowl, Charles. At one point, the advanced metrics had them at a 99.5% chance to win. It just seemed like everything was going their way, and then the 4th quarter happened.
I think when we review this game and we say, okay, where did it get away from the Falcons? What was the number of plays the Patriots ended up running for the game?
93.
And the Falcons ran
46.
So they wore down their defense on that one. But look at what they did on offense. They were averaging big-time yardage, running it, passing it, had everything going their way. A 25-point lead should still be enough to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, almost 6 yards per rush, almost 9 yards per pass for the Falcons. And when these two are clicking, Ryan and Jones, and we've seen multiple hookups here in this one, usually their offense is clicking, and that's why they're winning.
Yeah, they tend to follow what those two do. They set the tone for either a good day or maybe a tougher day. And right now, we're seeing an excellent game because those two are finding each other. Doesn't matter where on the field, they're making plays.
2nd down following the run.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he gets it down to the 32. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now Ryan. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Buying time to his left. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now it's Ryan. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. This is Coleman. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Now, for Blount in the Super Bowl, did have a costly fumble late in the first quarter. 9 carries in the first half, only 2 in the second half. Of course, they were trying to come from behind, and Tom Brady was doing a lot of the work.
And you remember prior to the Super Bowl, I thought that LeGarrette Blount would carry it 20-plus times. I thought he'd be a real workhorse. And
looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away, and it's second down. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Ryan, a left side completion to Jones. 11 yards for number 11.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
Throwing again, Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And that's caught by Tammy. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Again, Ryan. That's caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Levine Toilolo, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. That time, a 6-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And right side caught. Hogan. A good pickup there. 26 yards. Falcons did a pretty good job of containing Hogan. 4 catches, 57 yards. Of course, that was coming off a 180-yard performance in the AFC title game.
I wonder if that thigh injury he had going into the game hampered him at all, maybe a little bit. But I know this. Trying to get away from the Falcons' coverage was difficult for the New England receivers throughout most of the game. But since New England accumulated a lot of plays on offense, I think they wore them down a little bit.
So, Charles, early December, the Falcons signed off to a 4-year, $38 million extension, and they got a pretty good early return on their investment in the Super Bowl, didn't they?
They got a massive return on investment. Look, the 82-yard interception return for a touchdown, that's going to be the signature play. but he made a bunch of other plays in the game as well. I think his tackles approached double digits. I think his pass breakups were somewhere around 5 or 6 for the game. He had that interception we talked about, had a fumble recovery. He was all over.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Now Brady backing up. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Brady going to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it. So the defense forces a 3 and out, but they got some help along the way. They threw it on 1st down, and when they were unsuccessful, it became 2nd and long. Didn't get it again on another pass. Went 3rd and long, and they almost had to put it in the air. They may want to rethink some strategy going forward.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Patriots take over. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. They'll run again with Blunt. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. A chance for us to get a glance at this Patriots defense. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3 and out. Fresh set of downs here. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. On 1st down, Ryan. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some...
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tamme, there. And it's third down. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. Ryan. It's caught. Jones. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
It's caught. Left side. Tamme. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. On third down, Ryan. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So a 3rd and 8.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And that is incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go for the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, Doug.
Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 77 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over. is under review. After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Hey, I wanted to sneak this in. Overtime in the Super Bowl. First ever, by the way. Some folks after were having the discussion, do they like the college rules for overtime better? Should each team at least get an offensive possession? What do you think?
Now, how deep are you talking about the college rules? Because I don't like the college overtime because it feels gimmicky to me. Because it's
starting from the
football.
25.
Yeah, it's not real football. But you're talking about make it equal.
Should each team at least get a possession?
I am so old school, Brandon. I liked the original sudden death. Okay? Coin flip. One team gets the ball, one team doesn't. You have a chance to stop them on defense. If you don't do that, so be it. That's just me. But in this situation, I do like the tweak the NFL made. If you go downfield and score a touchdown, that's your ball game. If it's a field goal or less, then the other team gets a possession. I think that's more than equitable. But for me, bring it back to the original sudden death.
Man, you are old school. I do think at least it should be a touchdown. A field goal should not decide it on the first possession.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to churn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. The left side completion to Jones. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. Brady gives now the ball, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And some space here. He chucks him aside.
Thumped him.
And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now he'll throw with Brady. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. 3rd down here. Third and 4. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Deion Jones in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And let's shift now to talking about the Patriots defense. And they dug down last drive on 4th down, got the stop on their side of the field. You play defense, Charles. How huge is that on this drive?
Can't even really quantify it, because you're talking about field position, momentum, that element of feeling like we're the tougher team, because when you stop someone on 4th down, in a sense, you're imposing your will on the other team, and that's exactly what they did, and that should permeate through the rest of the ball club.
Yeah, now who will impose their will on this drive? Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Complete to Jones. A big play there just before halftime. And even 60 yards.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, it can turn into a big play. The reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
In the red zone this time. So as the set designers run... Do you seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that? It's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
What part do they want empty set there? No maximum.
Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Now it's Ryan. Jones has it. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch a game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Now Ryan. And that's caught by Tammy. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
But all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
It's caught. Jones. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Throwing again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Jacob Tammy, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And he's a reliable target. He's more than that, though. Hey, look, I'm not going to say he's the best tight end in the league, but he's solid.
Yeah, because he's able to block, and that's almost a lost art for a number of the tight ends in the league now because the most popular guys are almost what we call move tight ends, more like receivers, but those guys who can do it all, there's still a place for them in the NFL.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a play fake. Brady. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. And the stats on his game, they really tell the story. A strong start. I don't know that the defense has really changed a whole lot as opposed to maybe just sticking to that game plan and shutting him down now.
I like where you're going with that because normally we talk about adjustments and drastic changes in a game plan in order to shut someone down. But in this case, maybe they're just sticking with what they worked on all week and they're just making better plays. And so far, they've got to like what they've been doing in the second half.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll give the Falcons a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Shea McClellan, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guys trying to throw the football.
So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Again, here's Blunt. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here.
I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time.
Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. To throw is Ryan.
That was a nice completion on an out route. And those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Levine Toilolo, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second.
Hi.
Second touchdown catch. This game, he's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards.
Can we play a game on share play?
Good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that. Football. Look up. Oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you. 20.
Yeah, you got to count on your guys to give you at
Who
least
is
a
this?
little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
53.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point.
A random
have
guy.
A big lead here to start quarter number 4.
4 down. 20. 25.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup. And it gives the Pats a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Brady now on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk. Complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Brady to throw again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Sometimes
is it
coverage
important?
is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Throwing now is Brady, and his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them.
Hey, a guy from Norway.
All day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Throwing is Brady on third down. And Gronkowski's got it. Complete over the middle. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Blunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Now a carry for Blunt. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now Brady. And this is
very good at the game.
They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. Very tough spot.
Thanks,
here for
I'm
the
still
offense to
practicing.
start.
I just got the game.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now Ryan. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 13 yards there on the pickup, and the Falcons are going to get a first. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7.
I don't have it.
It brings up second.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support.
I just want to play it, but can't.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many
three-syllable word.
syllables. Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Sorry, Brew.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to an Atlanta first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
11 yards for number 11. So the offense has it 1st and 10. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now Ryan. Oh, he's able to outmuscle.
Yeah, but and my parents said I can earn the game.
11 yards for number 11. Just a heck of a catch. How does he make that play?
I wish I knew, and I wish I had his athleticism because his ability to go up and contort his body in so many ways and still come down with the catch, phenomenal.
You just got a new sub. It was on sale the other day for $20. That's the only reason why I got it. By the way, thanks.
1st and 10 now.
I know.
On 1st down, Ryan. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely one.
Mom was sick, so she couldn't afford it.
Come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here.
Sorry to hear that.
At the left hash, this from 45. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
Brady going to throw.
But she is better now.
Complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely
Good.
you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together,
You light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you? That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
From midfield, here's Brady. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf.
How long will the stream last?
Great catch. Two minutes to go in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. We're back to crown a champion after this.
K.
Brady to throw again. Surveying the field. Got a man, it's Amendola. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down, Brady finding time. And that's caught. It's Hogan. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down.
Four down.
Throw right after this, I need to leave, sorry.
Can't find anyone open. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home.
all right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. On third down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Ryan. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Second down now after the incompletion. They come out with one back and three tight ends. Now Ryan looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. It's Matt Ryan, picked off by Logan Ryan. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
LeGarrette Blount was the intended target, and it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. On first and 10, here's Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a play fake here on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will... Get the football back. Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. The left side completion to Jones. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Falcons a first down. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now it's Ryan. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And it's over. The Lombardi Trophy belongs to the Falcons. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Don't make me beg.